Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Live Strong podcast. If you are brand new here, hello. My name's Olivia. I am the founder and head coach of Live Strong, which is a small group and personal training gym in Bennett's Green, Newcastle, Australia. I don't know why I have to be so specific with that. Anyway, this podcast is all about living your healthiest, happiest life, but infused with a bit of chaos from my own life. So let's get into this thing. Episode 2 of the official 4th season, guys. We are on an absolute roll. Can't believe how many of these podcasts I've actually recorded because not that many people watch or listen to them. Now, actually, I'm not complaining because those that do listen, I know you appreciate it, and I do enjoy doing it when I put in the time to do it. I feel like it's always on the end of my to-do list for the week. I'm like, oh, I've got to do the podcast because it's actually a lot of effort sitting here and talking to yourself, like more effort than I think it should be. And I was going to get more people on, but I've failed thus far, haven't I? Because we're 2 in and it's just been me. So this season, I promise to get some more guests on the journey as well. But today we are going to be talking about why you keep starting over. So we're going to get into a little bit of a motivational talk, I guess, maybe. Or maybe just a bit of a kick up the butt or maybe some insight. But first, let's talk about my week and my highs and my lows from the past 7 days. I'm thinking of keeping it a bit training related today. Like, let's just keep it in terms of the gym. But let's start maybe with my high. And for those who haven't been following along, I'm training for Hyrox at the moment. And we are, actually today is exactly 1 month until me and Nate will be competing. So we are very close now, like 4 weeks flies. And considering the last week will be like a deload week, oh my God, I really only have a few weeks left to training. That's hectic. And it's a high because I'm feeling really good at the moment. Like, I think I should touch wood about that. I'm like, touch wood, that remains the case. But I'm feeling good for lots of different reasons. Like, I feel like I'm training really hard. Something that I guess I had a pep talk with myself about when I did Hill to Harbour early this year, the 12K run event, was like, pretty much just don't be a pussy. I think over the last 2 years, maybe, I've got in my head a lot about my training. I think probably after I hurt my back, which honestly, guys, was so fucking long ago. Like, we need to get over that. But that probably put me I think I was a bit negative about what I could achieve. And as I say, as everyone says, your mindset does control everything. So as soon as you start to turn your mind into like, no, I can do that. I can do the hard things. I can do more than I think I can do, sort of thing. And I've gone into this Hyrox training with that approach. And going back to the Hill to Harbour, I know my brain's all over the shop all the time, but when I did Hill to Harbour, that was how I sort of approached the run. And the training, I was really challenging myself. And on the run, I was like, fuck it, just send it and like go hard, and then see what you can do at the end. And I ran a PB and I was so proud of myself. And that's what I'm doing for this Hyrox. I'm just like, get in, get dirty, get gritty, get with it, and then get out, So I'm feeling really good. I'm not saying that I'm going to be bloody winning the thing, but I'm hoping to have a good performance. Like, I want to finish it and be really proud that I've worked hard, especially doing it with Nath. I think that's been a very positive experience because he is already leaps and bounds ahead of me, strength, fitness, running, all the bloody things. So I've got someone I'm motivated to be able to keep up with him, and he doesn't put the pressure on me to be like, oh, you slow bitch, like get up the hill. But wouldn't it be nice if I could challenge him in different aspects as well on the day? So that's sort of like motivating me as well. And in turn, it's also been good training with him because he sort of helps me stay level-headed, because sometimes I go a bit crazy and he's like, fuck, slow down or stop talking, because I talk a lot. Like, I'm mid-session. He's like, can you just shut up and just concentrate? I'm like, yeah, that's so true. So training's been really good. Moral of the story. Feeling good, feeling fit, not feeling fast. running, still not fast, but I'm feeling fit. I'm feeling strong. Body is recovering well. I've got like a minor little situation happening with my foot, but it's minor. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. We won't speak too much about it. But then that's going to lead me into my negative, guys, which I guess is sort of counterintuitive of what I've just said, but I'm over running. I would officially like to put it out there. I'm over it. I think I've done too much and I still don't enjoy it. And I think I've said this so many times on this podcast and so many times to people in real life that I just don't enjoy running. I've tried it. I've tried to like it. I do not enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it. I think it's boring. I just want to get in and get it done. Maybe I should become a sprinter. But that, I think that would be more enjoyable for me to push myself and whatnot. But no. Over it. So at the moment, I'm doing a long run and then a 30-minute run or like a 5K. I'm doing like a long run and a 5K every week. And it's been a 12-week prep. So what did I say? I got like 4 weeks left. So I've done about 8 weeks. And that long run just makes me miserable trying to get started. Once I do it, it's all right. But still, sometimes I finish it and that runner's high is not there. It's like a runner's low. I'm like, get me home. But I actually did a run this morning, and you know what? It's probably the best run I've had in a while. I actually felt quite good doing it, and I pushed myself and whatnot. But I can't wait for Hyrox to be over and I can stop running. I'll keep doing my 5Ks once a week because I do that with Run Club with the gym. So quote unquote, it's work for me. I've got to show up every week and do it. So it's probably a good thing because then I'll keep running once a week. But that's all I'm going to do. And to be honest, I think that's all I'm going to do maybe until Hilda Harbour next year. I'll probably do Hilda Harbour with the gym at the beginning of next year again. And then I'll probably lead straight into Hyrox because that worked really well actually. Already having that foundation of running. But yeah, guys, only maybe like 3 long runs left. And then look, they're not even that long. They're like 8 to 12Ks depending what week it is and what the program is. But man, oh man, it's not a fun time. Anyway, that's in my week. I've been having a really good week. So I'm feeling good in lots of different aspects. The challenge is launched and launch is going really well. So I'm really happy about that. Gym's doing really well. Staff's doing really well. Nate's doing good. He's currently actually gaming in the other room. So if you can hear any screaming, it's him. He's low-key been on his YouTube journey. Should we all go give him a follow? Imagine everyone just followed him on YouTube and then he'd be like, what the fuck? I think his name's Tunt YT, like TUNTYT on YouTube. You should go follow him. He posts like opening cards and playing video games. But anyway, he's doing that in there. I'm recording in here and he's recording in there. Wow, what a household we live in. Let's get into today's topic because you're over my week. I'm over talking about it. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about why you keep starting over. And really, I want you to think in your brain right now, have you ever noticed how many times that you've started your health journey over or a goal in terms of your health journey? How many times you started over? Probably more than once, let's be honest. I think everyone's in the same boat there. We've all said it, I'll start on Monday, I'll start next week. New Year's resolution, I'll start in the new year. I'll start, when the kids go back to school. I'll start after a holiday or, leading up to a holiday. When I turn 30, I'm going to do all these things. I'll start next week. All the things. We've all said those words. They've come out of our mouth and we've put it off. We've put off the health journey or the health goal. And you're not alone. And this is why I'm talking about it because it's something that comes up so common in the gym space. And look, it's probably the most common, is it an excuse? I don't know if excuse is the right word, but it's the most common idea, concept that comes out of people's mouths, especially when they haven't quite locked in yet. They haven't gone into the lock-in phase. And it's because we're all obsessed with fresh starts. Like, how good does a fresh start feel? Like the excitement of buying new activewear, signing up for the gym. It's like, oh, here we go. I'm going to change my life. You know, when you get a brand new program in the gym, it's like, yep, this is my opportunity. I'm going to lock in now. You know, writing down your goals and those New Year's resolutions, you write them down. You're like, yes, this is a fresh start. Let's go, right? And we get that dopamine hit from the idea of change. Changes can be glamorous, right? Like it seems like this big sparkly thing that as soon as you have that change, you experience that change, that big thing's going to happen. But as we all know, and this is why we've done it hundreds of times, the excitement of the change wears off. Maybe lasts a week, maybe lasts a day. But then, guys, it's gone. And let's be real, no one gets excited about their meal prep on bloody week 12 of, you know, the year, or the concept of drinking water, you know, every day, or going to the gym after having a terrible day at work, or, you know, when you're on your own, or when no one's noticing and you are making sacrifices for your health or picking the healthier option. Like, we see the change, the initial change, glamorous, sparkly, exciting, but we don't see the repetition of that action as glamorous. We see it as boring. We see it as, you know, it's got like a dark cloud over it, like the repetition, dark cloud vibes. And like I said, everyone's experienced this because it's a natural human trait to be glamorizing something that's new and the concept of achieving, but it just doesn't happen like that. Like, as I just said, the initial excitement fades, and I've had this happen many times in the past. Probably like a good few years ago was when I would say this is something that's been super relevant in my life, because I do have a very good day-to-day routine and healthy lifestyle that I live with balance. And I used to be so confused about balance. Like, I used to honestly, I'd be like, I don't understand how people have this balance, because that yo-yo or all or nothing approach was like so prevalent in my brain. But lucky enough that I've worked on myself and worked on this journey enough that I do feel like I have balance. But like I said, working in the gym space, working with so many different people in different stages of their life, this happens bloody all the time. I hear things like this like probably on a daily basis, and the good old excuse like, oh, work's really busy at the moment. I'll start, you know, after the new year, after the financial year, or I'll start in a few weeks when, you know, I'm going to try and do this and that will help me out. Or they've had a big weekend, right? They've gone out, gone hard, and then, you know, maybe they don't even come to the gym the next week. Oh, I'll start next week. I missed Monday because I was still hungover. I'll start next week. You're sick, right? People might have been sick in week 1 of a training block, but then they just don't quite get back into it. And then they're like, yeah, I'll lock back in on the next training block, which might be in bloody 6 weeks' time. Like, we put it off until a phase where we believe we're going to be ready to achieve. But sometimes there's not a perfect time, unfortunately. And not only there may literally be never a perfect time in our life, but also we naturally sort of do this because we think that starting over is going to erase the past. And even if that's not something that maybe you've thought about before, like that's not the actual thought that comes into your brain, that is probably the reason why these concepts come up and why we think that glamorizing a fresh start is going to be the thing that's going to be changing your path, right? You know, we say all those common things like I've sort of talked about, a bad weekend, I'll start next week. I've missed a week of training, I'll start in the new training block. I've fallen off track. Okay, well, I need to, get a bit of a new routine to get back on track, the new active wear, maybe people sign up to a new gym, all those sorts of things. But real life doesn't work like that. Like that's not reality. It's maybe a little inkling of a week, but it's not reality. Because you don't lose all your progress by having a bad weekend. It just doesn't happen. You don't need to have these dramatic resets where, you're changing all the different aspects. And most people just need to be consistent with what they're already doing. And I guess a little bit of an analogy or a thought process. It's like, this is funny actually. If your car gets a flat tire, right? You're not going to go and slash all the other tires. You'll be like, fresh start, let's go. Like, you're going to fix the tire and you're going to just keep carrying on with the journey you're on. Like, and if we think about that with your health and fitness, how often do people, something goes wrong on their health and fitness journey? Think about that as being your tire that's flat. How often do we go, oh, well, I've missed a meal or I've missed the session this week. Well, I'll start next week. Well, you've just slashed the tires of that week, like choo, 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 choo. And then you're expecting to get a brand new set of 4 tires next week. Guys, firstly, that's really expensive. And 2, you could have just fixed that one tire and just kept on keeping on. You with me? And if you think about it like that, sort of sounds a little bit silly, right? But we do this all the time because we think that starting over, starting again, starting fresh is going to be easier. Well, it is easier, I guess, in our brain for that concept. Like, I'll start next week. Like, that's the easiest thing that comes to head because day one is always easy. Like I said, we've glamorized it. We've got the little sprinkles on top. And day one, we probably say you've got your meal prep done. You've ate all your meals. You've drank your water. You've done your steps. You turn up to the gym. Doing that day in, day out is when it bloody gets hard, when you're tired, when you're busy, when maybe you haven't seen much progress, you're feeling a bit flat, hormones could be all over the shop, kids are sick, it's chaotic, school holidays, you don't feel like it. Like that, all of those things there, that's real life. And that's where the results are built. When you are having to be resilient and you're having to be determined and you're having to be organized and persistent, all these things, I'm just naming the bloody qualities of my primary school there. But you're needing all of these qualities to be able to keep on keeping on to quote unquote stay on track, which probably isn't the best word to use there, but I guess to stay on the journey potentially is better. When life gets hard, which it will, because that's stacking life, how do we keep moving forward, right? And no one talks about that bit. Like, yeah, maybe every now and then, but like, who really is talking about, that midweek meal prep when you've ran out of food and you've had to go to the grocery store and meal prep for the next day of work when you couldn't be fucked, like all those sorts of things, or you've had a really bad few sessions in the gym and you're feeling unmotivated, the body's not cooperating. No one's talking about that. We're talking about the beginning, glowy, amazing, and we're talking about the end, when maybe people have put in the work in the middle, but we're not seeing it, right? And consistency is where the bloody results happen, people. Sounds boring, sounds cliche, but that's when it happens. And yeah, consistency may be boring. Maybe the people that do the same shit every day aren't super exciting and their life isn't glamorous, but they're the people who are probably getting the best results. So a lot of the people that maybe are around you in your environment, on your social media, that you maybe see as the people who are maybe really fit or ticking goals, progressing in their career, progressing in the gym, whatever it is, I guarantee they're the people doing the boring shit. Like, they are the people getting up early, doing their workouts, day in, day out, when they're tired, when they can't be fucked. They're making sure they're organized with their food, they're doing their walks, they're getting their sleep in, and they're repeating it. They're those people. Like, even if you think you're going to be different by having this special epiphany, sparkles, unicorns, the starting sparkles that we talked about, the people that are getting the results are the people doing the boring shit that we don't see all the time, right? So, how do we sort of stop starting over, guys? Like, how do we stop this cycle from evolving and continuing? And how can we stop saying I'll start on Monday? Because how can that I'll start on Monday to be like, it's all right, I'll keep going, or I'm going to keep continuing, or maybe yesterday wasn't perfect, but today's going to be better, or I didn't make it to the gym on Monday, but it's fine, I can make it Thursday, Friday, I can make it a priority, or I can, I'll have to take the kids to the gym this week, but I'll make it a priority to try and make it work, or whatever it is. How can you flip the script in your brain and in your actions to start thinking that way? And going back to my slashing of the tires analogy, I think if you think about that and how much that is real life, that's really should be able to put in perspective for you, maybe some thought process, some changes that maybe you need to take in your everyday life to help change your mindset so that you're not one of these I'll start on Monday people. Because shit happens, life gets hard, life gets busy, and our focuses do have to change. And, I'm sure some of you out there have had a shit start to the year. Like, that happens to the best of us where just things are not panning out the way they're meant to be. And, that's was probably not okay. But, like, you're going to have to overcome and you're going to have to keep moving forward, and you've just got to keep going. It may not always be perfect. It may not always be 100%, but there's probably something you could be doing today, tomorrow, this week that could be moving those tires forward and keep you on track. Just keep it moving, right? Because I think one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck and, in this loop, I'll start Monday, start next year, New Year's resolutions. It's like I said, because they're waiting for the perfect time. But there's honestly no perfect time, because if you're someone who's saying this, you'll always find a reason why it's not the perfect time. No one's life is perfect, like a Barbie doll, right? Where we're just having the perfect day over and over and over again. Like, that's not life. So we need to learn how to continue when shit hits the fan and when shit's perfect, and every stage in the middle. Because the people who succeed are the people who aren't starting over again and again. They're the people who are showing up all of the bloody time. So that's something I need you guys to be asking yourself out there. And I've spoken about this in terms of the gym and training, which I hope this is landing for people, but this is in lots of different aspects as well. Like, this is at work. Maybe you've got a big project, or you've had this vision that you want to work on, or something. What are you telling yourself as to why you can't keep working on it, or start working on it, or create a plan, or start actioning? Again, it could be something as simple as housework at home. Like, rather than I'll start on Monday, I'll do it next week, blah, blah, blah. Like, what could you be doing to be that proactive actioner, doer of a person to be making progress? Because, the boring, annoying stuff that we don't want to do is the stuff that gets you where you want to go. And not to drop a bit of advertisement here, people, but our winter winter push challenge is just around the corner. And two things. Number one, if you've already signed up, hopefully this is landing for you in some way, because yes, maybe the challenge is a good point for you to start. And maybe it's not starting over or starting again, maybe just starting working on a new goal or turning up the dial or whatever it is. But also during 8 weeks, for those who maybe are starting something new, that sparkle fades. I tell you, by week 8, you're not going to feel as sparkly as you do on day 1. So how can you incorporate this into your life over the 8 weeks? And the second point is, if you're someone who's feeling a bit lost, you need a bit of accountability. And this isn't meant to be easy. Like, the idea of incorporating a concept like this into your everyday life isn't going to be easy if you've been living in that starting over phase for, 25 years. Maybe you do need someone to hold you accountable, and maybe the challenge is going to be a great opportunity for that. You get an accountability coach. You're in a group chat with everyone doing the same goal group as you. So whether you're doing the fat loss, muscle gain, performance, or lifestyle. So we can bounce ideas, we can support each other, we can communicate, so you don't feel alone as well when maybe times do get tough, because like I said, they will. I don't want to put it on you, but they will. So maybe this is a time that you're going to, I guess, commit to yourself as well, and maybe in a more of a supportive environment than on your own. But in the end, guys, whether you're doing the challenge, not doing the challenge, you're a member, whatever it is, being that person who always is starting over and never staying consistent on the things you want to achieve isn't good. It isn't a good trait to have. So how can you change it? I hope this episode has landed well with you people out there. Make sure you like it, comment it, share it, follow us, whatever. Let's keep growing our little Live Strong podcast community. And I'll be back next week. Let's look. I can even tell you right now that next week I'm going to be talking about organization. That sounds so boring, but it'll be glamorized slightly by then, but a good episode to help you get started and get organized for the challenge. So organization next week. I wonder if I can find a little guest. I've just thought of the perfect guest. Organization on next week. Bye-bye. Liv signing out.